Jesus. His name is synonymous with love, a love so profound it knows no bounds. He walked among us, a beacon of hope, a testament to God's unwavering compassion. His teachings, timeless and transformative, call us to a higher purpose, a life defined by love. Love for our neighbors, love for our enemies, love that extends beyond the confines of our own understanding. This is the love Jesus embodied, the love he calls us to embrace. It is a love that challenges us, convicts us, and ultimately sets us free. Jesus' love was not merely a sentiment, it was an action verb. He didn't just speak of love, he lived it out in every interaction, every healing touch, every tear he shed for the hurting and the lost. His love was radical, revolutionary, and it has the power to change the world. Let us delve into the depths of his love, explore its transformative power, and discover how we, as his followers, are called to be vessels of that same love in a world desperately in need of healing and hope. Jesus' ministry was marked by extraordinary acts of compassion. He healed the sick, restoring broken bodies and mending shattered spirits. The blind saw, the lame walked, and the lepers were cleansed, all through his divine power and boundless love. He fed the hungry, multiplying loaves and fishes to nourish thousands. Jesus understood the basic human needs, the hunger that gnaws at the belly and the thirst that parches the soul. He met those needs with compassion, demonstrating the depth of God's care for his children. These miracles were not mere spectacles, they were tangible expressions of God's love, his desire to see his people whole, healthy, and free from suffering. Jesus' compassion knew no limits, extending to all who sought his healing touch. Through these acts of mercy, Jesus calls us to recognize the suffering around us, to be moved by compassion, and to act. We are called to be his hands and feet, extending his healing touch to a hurting world. Jesus' love extended beyond the boundaries of societal norms. He embraced the outcast, the marginalized, those deemed unworthy by the religious elite of his day. He dined with tax collectors, engaged with prostitutes, and extended forgiveness to those who had betrayed him. In a society that prized purity and condemned those deemed unclean, Jesus saw the inherent dignity in every human being, recognizing that each person, regardless of their past or their present circumstances, was worthy of love and respect. He challenged the hypocrisy of the religious leaders who prioritized rules and regulations over compassion and mercy. Jesus reminded them, and us, that true righteousness is not found in outward appearances but in the condition of our hearts. Jesus' radical inclusivity serves as a powerful reminder that God's love is available to all. It is a love that transcends race, religion, gender, and social status. It is a love that welcomes the sinner and the saint, the broken and the whole. Jesus' righteous anger flared when he entered the temple courts and witnessed the exploitation and corruption taking place. Money changers had turned the house of prayer into a den of thieves, profiting from the religious practices of the people. His response was swift and decisive. He overturned tables, scattered coins, and drove out the merchants, declaring that the temple was meant to be a house of prayer, not a marketplace. This act, though seemingly out of character with his gentle nature, revealed his deep passion for justice and his unwavering commitment to the sanctity of worship. The cleansing of the temple was not merely about restoring order, it was a prophetic act, a condemnation of greed, hypocrisy, and the perversion of faith. It was a call to return to the heart of true religion, a heart centered on love, compassion, and justice. This event serves as a sobering reminder that our faith must be more than empty rituals and outward displays. It must be rooted in righteousness, fueled by a passion for justice, and lived out in our interactions with others. Section 5, Echoes of the Past, Parallels between Jesus' time and our own. As we reflect on the events of Jesus' life, we cannot ignore the striking parallels between his time and our own. Just as in Jesus' day, we see greed and corruption infiltrating institutions, power being abused, and the marginalized being pushed to the fringes of society. We witness the rise of ideologies that prioritize personal gain over the common good, that sow seeds of division and hatred, and that distort the true message of faith. We see the vulnerable being exploited, the voices of dissent being silenced, and the principles of justice being eroded. These trends should deeply trouble us, for they stand in stark contrast to the values Jesus embodied and the kingdom he proclaimed. They represent a departure from the path of love, compassion, and justice that he calls us to walk. It is in these times when darkness seems to prevail that we must cling to the hope offered by Jesus, remembering that his light continues to shine even in the darkest of nights. Section 6, Project 2025 and Christian Nationalism, a distortion of Jesus' teachings. In the landscape of contemporary American Christianity, certain movements have emerged that warrant our attention and scrutiny. Project 2025, a political strategy devised by right-wing Christian nationalists, seeks to exert dominion over American society by installing Christian values into every facet of government and public life. This movement, fueled by a blend of religious fervor and political ambition, promotes a vision of America that stands in stark contrast to the pluralistic society envisioned by our founding fathers. It seeks to impose a singular religious viewpoint on a nation founded on principles of religious freedom and the separation of church and state. Christian nationalism, a closely related ideology, further blurs the lines between faith and patriotism, promoting the idea that America is inherently a Christian nation and that its laws and policies should reflect a particular interpretation of Christian values. This ideology often manifests in the form of Christian symbols being displayed in government buildings, Christian prayers being mandated in public schools, and attempts to legislate morality based on a narrow interpretation of biblical teachings. Section 7, the antithesis of Christ, division, exclusion, and the perversion of faith. Both Project 2025 and Christian nationalism, despite their claims of upholding Christian values, represent a profound distortion of the teachings of Jesus. They stand in direct opposition to his message of love, compassion, and inclusivity. Jesus consistently challenged the religious and political authorities of his day, calling out their hypocrisy and their abuse of power. He reached out to the marginalized and the oppressed, offering them hope and dignity. His message was one of radical love, a love that transcended boundaries and welcomed all. In contrast, these modern movements promote division and exclusion. They seek to consolidate power within a specific religious group, often at the expense of those who hold different beliefs or come from different backgrounds. Their rhetoric is often laced with fear, anger, and intolerance, further fueling the flames of division within our society. These movements, rather than reflecting the true spirit of Christianity, often serve as a stumbling block for those seeking faith. They present a distorted image of God, a God of judgment and exclusion, rather than the God of love and mercy revealed in Jesus. Section 8, embracing the true message, compassion, justice, and love in action. In a world increasingly marred by division, hatred, and injustice, it is more important than ever that we, as followers of Jesus, reclaim the true message of the gospel. A message that is not about power or privilege, but about love, compassion, and justice. It is about caring for the poor, welcoming the stranger, and standing up for the oppressed. It is about recognizing the inherent dignity in every human being, regardless of their race, religion, gender identity, or sexual orientation. It is about dismantling systems of oppression and working towards a more just and equitable society for all. Our faith should compel us to be peacemakers, bridge builders, and advocates for those on the margins. It should inspire us to speak truth to power, to challenge injustice, and to work tirelessly for the common good. Let us not allow the distortions of faith to drown out the true message of Jesus. Let us be known for our love, our compassion, and our unwavering commitment to justice. Section 9, a call to action. Be peacemakers, be the light. My brothers and sisters, we are called to be salt and light in a world that has lost its flavor and is shrouded in darkness. We are called to be agents of healing, reconciliation, and hope. Let us answer that call with courage and conviction. Let us be peacemakers in a world consumed by conflict. Let us be bridge builders in a society fractured by division. Let us be beacons of hope in a world grappling with despair. Let our lives reflect the love and compassion of Jesus. Let our actions be a testament to our faith. Let our voices rise in unison to proclaim the truth of the gospel. The world is watching, brothers and sisters. Let us show them what it truly means to be followers of Christ. Section 10, Living the Gospel, reflecting the true values of the Kingdom of God. The Kingdom of God is not a distant reality, but a present reality that we are invited to participate in here and now. It is a kingdom characterized by love, justice, peace, and righteousness. It's a kingdom where the hungry are fed, the naked are clothed, and the imprisoned are set free. We are called to be ambassadors of this kingdom, to embody its values in our daily lives. Let our homes be havens of love and grace. Let our workplaces be environments of respect and integrity. Let our communities be places where everyone feels valued and included. Let us live out the gospel in tangible ways, demonstrating the transformative power of faith through our actions. Let our lives be a living testament to the love, compassion, and justice that lie at the heart of the Christian faith. The world needs to see the true message of Jesus reflected in the lives of his followers. Let us be that reflection, shining brightly in the midst of darkness. Section 11, Hope for a Brighter Tomorrow. The enduring power of love and compassion. The challenges we face in today's world can seem overwhelming at times. We are bombarded with news of war, injustice, and natural disasters. It can be easy to lose heart, to succumb to cynicism, to wonder if there is any hope for a brighter tomorrow. But we must never forget the enduring power of love and compassion. These are the forces that have the power to heal broken hearts, to mend fractured relationships, and to transform our world. These are the values that Jesus embodied, the values that he calls us to embrace. Let us never underestimate the impact of a kind word, a helping hand, a compassionate heart. These small acts of love, multiplied countless times over, have the power to change the course of history. Let us go forth from this place filled with hope, inspired by the life and teachings of Jesus. Let us be instruments of his love, compassion, and justice in the world. For in doing so, we participate in the building of his kingdom, a kingdom where love reigns supreme and hope never fades.